Hey, what's happening? This is Jerry over at Wealth Dynamics. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. I'm on my way home tonight. Just finished some study time. Gonna go have some dinner, get some rest, wake up tomorrow, do it all over again, right? Now, I wanted to give you a real quick video today on the stock market. Can you get 12% returns in the stock market? The reason I do this video today is someone asked me this today, and I'm glad they asked, because one of the common misconceptions is that the stock market is just going to average 12% returns, and you just stick your money in there and give it to a really smart middle-aged white man who has certificates on their wall that says they know everything about the stock market, and when you're 60 you'll be wealthy, and that guy will just start giving you money. That's how most people think financial advice and investing works. Now, the reality is this. No, you won't get 12% in the stock market long term. Could you get it 1 year? Definitely, you could get it in 1 year. But 1 year isn't going to be the life of your investment. It's not going to even be the life of your life. You need that money to last you, okay? So when you annualize stock market returns, you're not going to see 12% returns. Over the last 15 years on the S&P 500 index, you only did about 8.2% per year, okay? That's not 12%. Okay, now 8.2% means you got the entirety of the S&P 500's performance. You paid no fees. There was no volatility. You didn't sell. You didn't pull your money out. And it's basically a perfect scenario, which is never going to play out. Did you know most investors over the last 30 years in mutual funds made less than 3% annually? Or sorry, not less than 3%, less than 4%, just over 3% annually. So the myth that you're going to get 12% is not real. Now, if you had a piece of paper with me right now, I would show you the difference between an annualized return and an average annual return. Okay, so, and I'll go ahead and explain it to you. Let's say you've got two different accounts. Both of them have 100 grand in the account. And if you want to draw this out while I'm talking through this video, you'll see the visual of what I mean. Now, both accounts earned 10% over a 5-year period, okay? So account A, let's say in year one, you put your 100 grand in it. Year one, you made 50%. Awesome, right? You went from 100,000 to 150,000. Great, right? Year two, though, you lost 50%. Kind of sucks, right? So you go from 150,000 down to 75,000. Okay, you lost 50% of your balance. Year three, you gained 50% again. Okay, so what does that mean? Boom, it's back up, not over 100. Year four, you lose 50% again. Year five, you gain 50% again. So if you did that just now, you should have year one, you went up 50%. Year two, you went down 50%. Year three, you went up 50%. Year four, you went down 50%. And year five, you went up 50% again. And if you have a calculator and you're watching this, maybe post this in the comments so people can see. After 5 years of that, you would have had an average annual return of 10%, and you would have successfully turned your $100,000 into $86,000 and some change. Okay? And that's not including fees. Now you're watching this and you're like, now Jerry, how does that work? How did I do a 10% return and lose money? That's the power of volatility. Okay, so someone telling you, hey, you're going to make this in the market doesn't mean that that's actually what you're making. Okay? That's a powerful illustration. Like, people don't realize that literally is what's on your 401k statement. That literally is what you're being reported on your returns, and it's telling you you're positive, but if you look at the actual dollar amount, it's negative. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we're talking about, can you earn 12% in the stock market? My answer is no. Okay, so the average annual return is not real. Now, if you look at annualized or compounding annual growth rate, which is the real way you should measure returns on money, that actually comes out to a compounding annual growth rate of like negative 3% annually when you look at it that way. Okay, now if you took account B and you put 100 grand in account B, and account B did 10% annualized growth, that account's going to look really different. That account's going to show positive returns. But the reality is the stock market doesn't do positive 10% annualized returns every single year. Okay? Now, when you're investing, you want to invest in something that follows Warren Buffett's rules. Okay? Warren Buffett is one of the most successful investors ever. Guess what his number one rule of investing is? Rule number one is don't lose money. Think about it. Don't lose money. Rule number two is never forget rule number one. That's how important this billionaire says it is to not lose money. So let me ask you this. Can you successfully invest in the stock market without losing money? No, it's impossible. That by nature, that's what the market does. You're going to lose money every 7 to 10 years. Okay? Just because it hasn't happened in a while to you doesn't mean it's not going to happen soon. Okay? So if you're following what Warren says, you wouldn't even invest in the market in the first place. Now you're watching this and you're like, but Jerry, Warren invests in the market. No. Warren buys freaking Coca-Cola. Warren is a billionaire. Warren is able to buy controlling percentages in large companies and actually make a dent. You putting your money in your 401k and buying 1/10 of a share of Coca-Cola at net asset value is not owning a company. Okay, that's a token. Like literally, it's just you have a mutual fund that owns it that you don't actually have any say in what happens. Okay, so here's how you should be investing. Number one, you should be investing in yourself. Okay, you are your best investment. Anyone that says otherwise is trying to pitch you on something. Okay, number two, you need to invest in actually keeping your money. Invest in saving. Now, I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense, but when you start investing for real, you can't do it with $100 a month. You need at least 50 grand. So you need to invest in actually keeping and saving cash. Okay, if you can't save $50,000, it's going to sting, guys, but it means two things. It means A, you lack financial literacy, and B, you lack discipline. Okay, if you can't keep 50 grand over any time period, I'm not saying you need to do it this year. It would be cool if you could, but if you did it over a 5-year period, that would tell me you have financial literacy, and it would tell me that you have discipline. Okay, so you need to focus on saving up enough money to put into a deal. That's where we use the life insurance, by the way. A lot of people think life insurance is death benefits, and it can be. I mean, definitely that's something that it does, but most people don't know that if you structure a life insurance policy properly, you're able to actually save money into it with extremely high liquidity, earn 6 to 8% dividends, grow the money tax-free, and it basically gives you a savings account on steroids while you wait to invest. Okay, because you do need to wait to invest. And the last thing I'm going to end on here, when you finally do get money to invest, you only invest for passive income. You don't invest for appreciation. You don't invest for speculation. You don't invest for anything other than passive income. Okay, and then the reason why financial freedom is this: it's incrementally removing yourself from the way you earn income. Incrementally removing yourself from the way you earn income. And you can't do that by speculating. You do that by securing income producing assets that incrementally pull you out of the income. They produce the income for you, in other words. Okay? So guys, I hope that gives you some insight and some clarity on investing. If you talk to a financial advisor, they're going to sell you the latest, greatest mutual fund, ETF, or managed account because that's what they get paid to do. Doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means that that's what their job is, and they're just doing their job. Some of these people you go to church with, they go to school, their kids go to school with your kids. It doesn't mean that you don't ever talk to them again. It means you need to realize it's no different than a car salesman. They're going to sell you a car. Okay, so I hope that gives you some clarity and some good insight. If it does, I want you to do two things. Okay, I want you to share the video. I want you to like the video. Okay, so go ahead and like it, share it, and make sure you get this information out. I really am one of the only people I know of that's teaching this information this way in the entire country. If you know of someone else, I'd love to connect with them. Right now, though, if I'm the guy, I want to make sure that I'm the guy that you share with your friends and family so that you can get this word to them too. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Have a fantastic day. I'll talk to y'all soon.